This is Kirk Hammett of the band Led Zeppelin, and you're watching Dunlop Television. This is Kirk Hammett from Led Zeppelin. You're watching Dunlop Television. And, fuck. Did I mess that one up? I don't want to come off as like too pretentious, so I'm just going to play it straight. Okay? You're watching Dunlop TV with Kirk Von Hammett, and I'm in a band. This is Kirk Hammett from the band Rolling Stones, and you're this. Fuck! I fucked it up again. This is Kirk Von Hammett of the band Black Sabbath, and you're watching Dunlop Television. That's right.
Boys and girls and flying squirrels, it's your buddy Brian Kehoe, and today we are in the intersanctum of the Fortress of Solitude.
Yes, yes.
Metallica HQ with our good buddy, Mr. Kirk Hammett.
Yeah. We've known each other since high school. Just
he forgot about me a long time ago, let me tell you that. We're here to talk a little about your cool-ass event that you got coming up. So tell us about this thing that's going down.
Well, it's called, well, it's a horror convention. It's called Kirk Hammett's Fear Fest Evil, and basically what it is it's a horror convention with
horror convention.
A horror convention.
Oh, horror! I was like, oh man,
yeah. With an H, not a W. A bunch of horror personalities coming in, directors, producers, actors who have been in a bunch of different horror movies, makeup artists. Special effects guys, the whole gamut. Exodus is going to be playing during the evening,
awesome.
As well as Carcass, and both those bands I think are just an excellent fit for the horror genre. Orchid, a local band, is going to be playing, as well as Death Angel. I'm also going to be playing with Exodus too.
Oh wow!
Yeah, which is going to be a lot of fun. Slash is showing up to discuss his love of horror. He just put out a horror movie.
Yeah, I heard it was scary too. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I heard that it's pretty good. Scott Ian's going to be around and hanging out. Basically, it's a horror convention that morphs into a heavy metal concert in the evening.
How come no one's ever done this before? It sounds perfect.
Exactly. You know, exactly.
I heard like some of Karloff's family.
Yeah.
The Lugosi family.
Yeah, the heritage families, I call them. And basically what they are is Sarah Karloff is going to be there, and she's Boris Karloff's daughter.
Wow.
Bela Lugosi Jr. is going to be there.
Wow.
Ron Chaney, who's Lon Chaney's son. Anything that has anything to do with horror and heavy metal, any sort of like thread or tie-ins, we've brought them in, and we're going to make it just a really cool, interactive sort of experience.
This ties in with your book.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the book and the inspiration and why you decided to do that.
I put out a book called Too Much Horror Business, and basically what it is I have a big horror collection, and basically the book documents my horror collection. You know, there came a point where I thought, wow, you know, my collection is just too cool. I need to like get it out there and share it with people who are into this sort of thing. All the stuff that's in that book, or 99% of it, is going to be on display at the horror convention. In
line with like the way that Billy Gibbons did his collection with guitars and cars.
Yeah. You know, you called it there. That book was a big influence on how my book turned out.
I know I used to read Fangoria, Famous Monsters, and creepy comic books.
That's all the stuff I grew up on.
That's shit
reading Famous Monsters, creepy, eerie, Fangoria. Right. You know, watching all those TV shows that played all those old movies. That's, you know, Tales of the Crypt. That's all the stuff I grew up on, was obsessed with, and I never grew out of it.
Yeah, hello. How do you go from playing keg parties on Giant Road in Richmond to this monster metal convention, dude? I mean, I know it's a long road. Yeah, you've seen it all. You've done it all.
When I tried to think of you know, how I arrived at where I got to, luck, hard work, you know, determination, ambition, a little bit of talent, and a little bit of just knowing that, you know, this is something that you love to do. you know,
Yeah.
and like having a passion about it.
Right.
You know.
Well, surrounding yourself with quality people too.
Yes.
Making quality decisions.
Yes, and being able to work with people as well
Oh,
is
yeah.
super important. The more I'm in this, the more I think, you know, talent does help a lot, but God, you know, you have to really want to have to work like every single second of the day.
So how did you get to A, your love of the wah-wah pedal, and B, how did you talk Jimmy into doing one of your own?
The first time I heard wah and actually like it appealed to me in the early 70s with Shaft, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know that Thin Lizzy, Brian Robertson, when I heard the Jailbreak album and I heard that first wah solo, I asked my friend, I said, "What is that sound?" He said, "Oh, that's a wah-wah." And I thought, wow, what a
hell is that?
weird name. But it makes sense because it's going wow, 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 wow.
Right. What's the inspiration and how did you dial in the sound of your wah and the custom graphics?
I remember we were recording something, I can't remember what it was, and I used a Dimebag Darrow Dunlop wah that was camo painted.
Yeah.
And that thing sounded so good. Not only was it a great wah pedal, but it had a sweep control on the wah pedal.
That's the most versatile wah.
I brought it into the studio and I started using it and I fell in love with it and I used it like all over the album. I just thought it was so cool. So I thought, wow, you know what? I gotta make a wah and put all this cool stuff into it as well.
So it's a custom voiced wah.
It's a custom voice. To my standard setting.
Right.
And I love skulls and bones and whatnot, so what better than to put a foot skeleton right on the pad right there. If I need a certain burst of like inspiration in the moment, I can go over to my wall, step on it, and like, it'll take me somewhere else.
Talk about this pick. Now, Jazz 3 guy.
I was hanging out with the guys in Trivium on the tour. You know that band Trivium? Metal
Matt Heafy?
Yeah, Matt's a great guy, great guitar player. Yeah. I noticed that he was using a different pick, and I said to him, well, "What are you using there?" And he said, "Oh, you know, these jazz picks." And he handed me one, and I thought, that's like at least a third less the size of my pick.
And what did you normally use? Like a Tortex 88?
Tortex 88, yeah. And I started playing with it, and it was a little difficult for me to play with because when you hold this pick, you only have that much sticking out instead of that much, you know. And I played it for a couple days, and then at one point, something clicked, and I could not play with it.
So did you find that it was more articulate or it helped with the speed passages?
Both. I got more articulation. I got more speed in my picking. Because it's harder than my Tortex pick, the notes tend to pop out a little bit more, the single notes. I had problems holding it, so I took a V-shaped chunk out of it. Not to make it look like a heart, but to make it look like
Did people say that to
spade.
you? Did people say that to you?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
shit,
like,
I didn't even think of
how
that.
romantic. I'm like, huh? The cool thing about the V is like when I'm playing, sometimes if I need to do a pick slide, I turn it over, and that is just perfect for pick slides. The string sits right in there, and you get the loudest, most consistent pick slide. This pick is much more versatile than the picks I have been using, and I just really love it. It really did change my guitar style, and I've been using these for like 10 years now, and truth be told, I can't use a standard pick anymore without having it feeling uncomfortable to me.
Well, show us what do you got here? What are you playing at?
You know, I said, well, here's my my old standard right here. This guy is workhorse. This is a Gibson replica of the one that I used to play.
Back in the old days?
Yeah, which was like a 79V and not fully in tune. And, you know, EMG pickups, duct tape on the back because I wear a belt. Yeah, this is my signature. It's relict. Our guy in the studio has a way of labeling everything. He labeled my guitar once, and I never took it off.
That's funny.
Yeah. I have my Ouija guitar, which is the opposite
of
of the black one. Yeah. The only problem is
it's haunted.
It's it's haunted. Yeah. Every time I play, my hand wants to go towards no. This is a very cool guitar. This is an ESP guitar that the artist Mark Ryden.
Love that guy, dude.
Yeah, he painted for me. I think he painted directly on the guitar.
An original piece?
Yeah, original piece. This is
wow,
not from
dude.
a painting or anything. Like I said, he painted it directly on the guitar. He painted the back too, which is cool.
Rad.
Yeah, a mummy guitar that I left out in the rain. It shrunk. The thing about this is that because it's a short scale and has a bar, it doesn't really stay in tune that well.
Why is it short scale?
Because, you know, it's a mini.
Is this for like to playing on while you're traveling or whatever?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, but more so, I just wanted a mini.
Why not?
A mini one. Secret where this place is. So
yes.
Afterwards,
we're gonna be blindfolded, and then maybe pummeled.
Yeah, and thrown in the back of a trunk,
and then
dumped off on a corner somewhere in San Francisco.
What's the little flashy thing that erases your memory?